Here we have an Excelsior Digisyzer. This is a MIDI accordion as well as an acoustic accordion. First we'll review the acoustic aspects. We have here an LMMM accordion, so we have 4 sets of reeds, low, middle, middle, middle. You could choose any combination of those. Up here we have our toggle switches. So here's the low reed, our bassoon. And here's our middle. Here's the low and middle together. And then you can do any combination of musettes. Here's our violin. Here's our tremolo. Here's our saxophone with the low reed. And then here's our triple musette. It has a very bright sound. It's very wet, and it gets very loud. This accordion also has built-in factory microphones that are controlled by this knob here, which is actually 2 knobs. It has a ring around it that rotates as well as the top of it. And it pretty much balances out the left hand and the right hand. So there's microphones in each section of the accordion. On the left hand we have 5 switches here. First one down here is our bass piano. Second one is our tenor. Our middle one here is our master. And then we have our alto. This last one is a mute. It comes in handy when you do the electronics on it. So basically it deactivates the reed box and no sound will come out of it until you activate the MIDI, which we will do later in this demo. So let me just play a few things acoustically first so you can hear what it sounds like. An idea of what's going on behind this instrument, the electronics, the digital aspect of it. Here we have this tone generator. So our accordion acts as a MIDI controller. It runs through this tone generator, which also controls all the drums and arpeggios and the automatic bass walks that go along with the playing, the accompaniment. And so pretty much all these buttons are being run through here and converted into tones, which are then run through our expression pedal, which are then run through our Leslie simulator. Leslie's like a rotating speaker they used to use in organs. This is a simulator, a foot pedal simulator of that. You can choose between fast and slow Leslies. So here's it with it off. Here's with it on. Kind of give you an idea of that, and you can also program that to be with your flutes or with other sounds. So yeah, to go over this treble side with you, again, here's where our acoustic accordion is controlled. We put all these into our locked position, so none of them are active. These are all controls relating to the different sections here. You can see up close that these are all kind of boxed off in different sections. There's bass, there's chords, there's automations, accompaniment, flutes and strings, synth sounds, preset percussion, and then combination presets. And all these are individually controlled volume-wise by these knobs. And so, let's see, first we have to activate our treble side. This is the treble cancel button, so you can turn it on, off. And then, so first let's take a look at the right hand. We have our flutes in this section. We have 16 foot, 8 foot, 5 1/3 foot, 4 foot, 2 2/3 foot, and 2 feet. And pretty much we can activate, deactivate them depending what sound we want. So here's the 16, it's going to be our lowest, and then we can add the 8, that's an octave, 4 is another octave, your highest one is the 2, that's another octave. On top of that, kind of to give polyphony to the sound, to have another sound overlapping that, there's what is called a synth sound, and that controls mainly the texture of the sound. Some of them are kind of wow sounds. We can actually turn off the flutes at this time and solo the synth, the layered sounds. So there's some interesting ones. Here's an oboe, trombone, trumpet. Here's the wow trumpet. This is one of my favorites. Clarinet, very mellow sound. Here's a whistle, violin. And then you can also send any of these synth sounds to the bass. So say I want that wow trumpet sent to the bass. I hit the bass button. Let me just take off my current basses. I get that wow, that deep bass sound. And again, you could do that with anyone. Say I want the oboe or the trombone. You can send any of those. Then we have our preset percussion. This again is another polyphonic sound, so you can actually have 3 layers going on. These preset percussions affect more the onset of the tone. For instance, we have a piano. Again, we can solo these or add the flutes to them. Right now we're just going to solo them, but it gives you a different idea of the onsets that you can have. So that's a piano. Here's a harpsichord one. Kind of sounds a little bit stringier. Vibraphone. So that one has a sustain to it, which you could take on or off. Here's a marimba. Different texture altogether. And then here's a Hawaiian guitar, which I like. There's an expression pedal here that you can also use to kind of really, I don't know, you get a really cool effect if you use the pitch shift on it. It's like a bend modulation. Kind of like gliding between half steps. And then we also have here combination presets. So this will change all of the presets that I just listed to either big band, jazz, string orchestra, flutes and strings. So it just puts them into an ideal preset, everything. So like for jazz, like it will give you a more organy kind of sound. So all of the flutes will be, sounding like an organ. So that's pretty cool. Very old school. So let's take that off. Let's now look at our bass. At this point I have it again in the closed position. It's muted. I can hit anything. It doesn't make a sound unless if I want it to. You can layer the acoustics and the electronics to get a cool effect. So here I'm going to turn my bass on, and I am going to press either 6 or 8 feet. They're lower sounds, and again we can turn that up or down here. So that's our lowest bass. Here's our 8 foot. Here's our string bass, kind of a different texture, a little bit of a sustain, and then there's also a longer sustain reverb button. So, if you put that on the 16-foot bass, it kind of carries that tone a little bit longer. And then for the chords, we have flutes and strings to choose from. That's the flutes. Here's the strings. You can also sustain either of those. And then besides that, I've pretty much gone over all this. This is an expander. You can run it through another keyboard. So let me introduce to you some of these drum patterns, the drum rhythms. So here we have our automations. It says arpeggio, ACP, and rhythm. So if we hit rhythm, and then we hit the start button on our expression pedal, we get a drum beat. And it has probably about 20 different ones. Got waltzes, got marches, ballads, we got swing, tango, samba, rumba, bossa nova, which is a cool one, rock, disco, and any of these you can control the speed, make it go really fast, really slow. You can also control the tone if you want more bass or treble. Control the volume, and then also there's arpeggios on this accordion, which is a pretty cool feature. Let me show you that. So all I have to do is activate the arpeggios, and then I play any chord. And it automatically does this arpeggiating line as accompaniment. And again, that slows down or speeds up as you change the speed. So yeah, you can do some cool stuff with that. There's also variations. The cool part is how you can control these functions with the expression pedal. So there we have the drum fill button. So if I hit the fill button, which is kind of like if I push my foot to the right, there's like this little knob. So it gives us the drum fill. Again, the other way is the glide. So kind of bend notes with that, and then up and down is the expression of your treble. This unit also comes with this Digisyzer MIDI trans unit. This is so that you can bypass the console and hook it up with standard MIDI, either to computer interface or some kind of MIDI control console arranger. And yeah, so that's a very good feature if you want to bypass this unit. So this accordion also comes with manual, owner's manual, has very nice diagrams and handwritten diagrams from the previous owner, who definitely took care of it. You could tell that he was really obsessed with this instrument and had a lot of fun with it. And then some information, the whole manual here, if anything is to happen to it. And so to operate this, you do need a speaker that is not included, but this has 4 outputs, 1 for the mic and then 3 that you can connect to the Leslie, and the Leslie has another output, 1/4-inch output, and then all the cables come with it that are shown here, the umbilical cord, 3 1/4-inch cables, and then another 16 prong that runs to the expression pedal.
Thank you.